I have received two questions from someone, and you say, "Hello Ascendor, your video helped me a lot, but I still have two unresolved problems. First, I allowed thoughts and emotions, and finally realized that everything was one, and that I was not a person, but a part of the huge power of the present moment. The seeker finally died, but then I allowed everything, and the meaning of life disappeared. I just sat there and felt the present without exercising or watching YouTube like I used to. But the meaninglessness that comes from it, that makes me depressed. I thought, if everything is one and I don't exist in the first place, why do I have to suffer? And this body isn't me, so why do I exercise? Of course, I allowed these thoughts, but they still leave me wondering, what's the point of all this when it doesn't mean anything? Is it going to change if I keep allowing everything? But meditation is more confusing now, because it's not for purpose, it's just an automatic state. Yes, there is a time of your, let's call it, awakening journey, where you feel like thinking and wondering and trying to do things is your natural state. When you're in this state, it feels like meditation is something you do. And at some point it switches, and you realize that meditation is not something you do to serve a purpose, it is something you are. And when it's something you already are, then of course there is no purpose behind it. At the end of this comment, you say something like, I think the reason why my motivation or the meaning of life disappeared is because they came from my ego, who wanted to be recognized and loved. So you say in the first part of your comments that the meaning of life disappeared. I think you already realized that this meaning of life that collapsed is something that was made up by the ego, because as you already said, it was something in you that wanted to get the love of the world or the recognition of the world. And that was your source of motivation. And almost everybody is doing this. It's like, I don't feel complete, therefore I want to do things that makes people applaud and makes people appreciate me. But then something collapses. That part of you that thinks it's incomplete. So you no longer need that appreciation, and then you don't have a purpose anymore. So right now you're in a state where you lack orientation in life. And that's the reason why you wrote this comment in the first place, because you want some guidance. And the part of you is really trying to do something that makes a part of you feel safe again. But I'm telling you, be patient, because it's gonna be regulated by itself. You just have to be a little bit patient and go through this and appreciate this time in which you're just being and you don't know what the goal is. And I will tell you this, until now, all of your goals have been created to serve this purpose, to gain some kind of appreciation by people or by whatever. That gives you some kind of feeling that makes you feel more complete than most of the time. Now you don't need that kind of feeling anymore, and somehow it can happen like this, that you will have a goal again in the so-called future, But it's not to get love, but to give love. It's not to get help, but to give help. And then it will kind of dawn on you that maybe the purpose of life is not to find a way on how to become complete, but the purpose of life is just to serve and share love. Be there for others, also for yourself in a healthy way, also for others. And most people who wake up recognize that this is something that happens after this state in which there's no orientation. But you really don't have to be so stressed about it. Just relax in this state. Remember and feel and see. You are able to see this now, that life is carrying you. Alright, so you continue. Second, meditating makes me so sleepy. I feel like my mind is trying to stop me from facing something that is repressed deep inside me. So you sit down and something tells you that there is something inside of you that is deeply repressed, and you have to meditate to get it out there. But the body is fighting against it by making you sleepy. I know what that feels like, but do not force yourself to meditate. Of course, you can try to just meditate in a position in which it is hard to fall asleep, but if nothing happens that makes this repressed energy go away, then just accept maybe it's not meant to go away right now. Sometimes we have a deep negative feeling that feels like a wound that has been there for months or years, and we are desperately trying to get it away with meditation and therapy, and nothing works. And sometimes it happens like this, that you don't care about it anymore. You're just like, oh, so what? And then one day you wake up and it's just gone, and you don't know why. You don't know why. So maybe this is something that a part of your mind is still trying to hold on. Maybe your mind tells you, my life would be better if this wouldn't be here. Again, somehow something in me wants to tell you that you have to be patient. Then you say, I would really appreciate it if you could let me know your thoughts on these two problems. Thank you. Then you say, I think the reason why my motivation or the meaning of life disappeared is because they came from my ego, who wanted to be recognized and loved. As I allowed that broken ego, I think all the goals I set to fill the deficiency have disappeared. Yes. And that makes me depressed because there is no destination in my life right now. But you don't have to be discouraged because of that feeling. I don't have a motive to set new goals or meaning. Set a new goal or meaning. It can feel like that when there was an ego for such a long time who knew exactly what it wants to do. The motivation behind those deeds was, when I get it, I will get the appreciation. I will finally become complete. At the same time, it is the ego's biggest nightmare to become complete, because when it's finally realized and I'm complete, then it's like, what's the purpose of me being here even? I'm done. So that's like the biggest nightmare. And now that biggest nightmare is your reality. But at the same time, open your eyes to the fact that it's actually a beautiful thing. And you're guided, not in a mystical woo-woo way, but you can see, you're in a situation where you can see that you're not separate from life, It happens through you. So right now you don't have a motive to set a new goal or meaning. But one day you will kind of feel like it's an outflow of creativity that wants to be expressed. It's like, I want to help here maybe, or I want to improve this again, or I want to set this new goal. It will all come in time, but you will no longer feel like you have to accomplish this to gain a sense of being whole. It is just something you do, but there is no emotional charge behind it. It is just something you do out of joy, but the joy does not come from fulfilling the goal. The joy comes from being here. Please help me. Also, I think I'm in a state of the dark night of the soul. How can I get through it? You will get through it. You don't have to worry about it. It's just, the more you worry about it, and the more you label it, oh, I'm in a dark night of the soul, how long does it take? I wouldn't even cling too much to concepts like that. What if there's no concept? What if there's no such thing? What if there are no videos about a thing called dark night of the soul? What do you actually feel? What is actually here? When you don't listen to the mind who's suggesting all these ideas, what is actually here? What is the feeling in the body? Like, let's say the emotion that you're feeling is disorientation and a feeling of being lost. And now don't listen to the ideas about those terms, lost and disorientation, but actually feel it as what's actually here. Maybe it's a kind of an intense sensation in the body, but actually it is not something that needs to be solved. It's completely fine. When you're aware, like, not stuck in the head, but actually here, then something may loosen up and make you realize that, wait a minute, I'm here. There's not a problem that needs to be solved. It's fine. Maybe you can see this. And then you just go about your day. Not with an extraordinary motive or purpose, or you just go with the flow. You're present. You're here. And whenever the mind tells you, oh, I'm disoriented, I'm lost, I don't know what, maybe I'm in the dark night of the soul, what is happening actually, you just come back and look at the source of your worry, which is most likely a sensation in the body. Is it actually so bad? Most likely not, even if it's very intense. Listen to the words of Jesus, carry your cross. If you don't have a method to solve it right now, then leave it as it is. It will disappear by itself. Because when we have like a feeling that feels negative and we want to have a method to get rid of it, and it doesn't work right away, then we're kind of stuck in this, why doesn't it work? Then I want to research how to do it better, how to meditate even deeper, how to go into this chakra, and we are turning it into an even bigger problem. Then the feeling gets even more intense. Become present, feel the sensation as it is, and accept its presence, and participate in life consciously. And realize that when you do that, actually, it's not such a big deal. It's just your mind wants you to think that it's a big deal. You're in the dark night of the soul. It's so disorienting. But I tell you, be patient. Don't worry too much about it. Life's gonna be beautiful. Alright, I hope that helped. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment. And have a great day.